Alright, Shove It Squad, welcome back to Ring of the Hawk, the show where we watch back a wrestler's short run with the company, 30 or less matches, and then at the end we shove them a final grade to see if they can do the JOB to the HAWK. I apologise for how few the Hawk's been doing of these lately. Since the WWE Network has gone, it's become a bit trickier. Not impossible, but it just takes a lot longer and a lot more planning. Is anyone else missing the network a lot? We had it so good. Anyway, the other day I asked for some more recent WWE competitors for this series of the show because I really enjoyed making that Aaliyah video last season, and I think we might have a similar one today. Alright, it's Vanessa Borne. Will she make the Hawk yawn? Today's going to be an NXT episode, by the way, because this chick never made it to the main roster before getting released. Quite rare in today's wrestling world that she never made it, so does that mean she's bad? She was trained by Rikishi and Gangrel, so that should be some pretty solid training right there. I dunno. But what the Hawk can tell you is that she almost made it to the main roster as Vince McMahon wanted her to a Charlie's Angels meets the Pussycat Dolls gimmick. That was going to be along with Santana Garrett and Chelsea Green. Not actually the worst McMahon idea I've ever heard. So what was Vanessa left with? Let's find out. Match 1, NXT 2016, Peyton Royce, who gives the boys a choice, versus Vanessa Borne, who's going as Danielle Carmella at this point. That's her real name. You can tell this girl was some Samoan in her though. Peyton quickly scoop slams her to welcome her to the WWE. Vanessa reverses the next move into a pinning attempt and also hits an arm drag and a crossbody for a 1 count. Peyton no-sells a drop kick and hits a spin kick for a 2. She then crushes her against the ropes for a while and also works a submission. This is not the most exciting match ever. To her credit, Vanessa can do a cartwheel back elbow. She can't do anything else though as Peyton hits a knee to the noggin and a Northern Light suplex for the 3. That wasn't great. She doesn't seem to have any charisma. Let's give her a D because the Hawk is always kinder on its first match. Match 2. Nikki Cross with her crackhead crew take on Vanessa Borne. She looks just as generic as last time. Cross backs her into the corner and hits shut up or I'll smack you ones. Borne does manage to dodge her and hits a suplex but Cross is up before her. Nikki Cross hits a net breaker and starts biting her own hand. She moves on to slapping her own face and then she hits a twisting fisherman's for the 3. I guess when your opponent is that weak you can take time to beat yourself up. Cross is a bad winner though and she beats Vanessa up further. She won't stop the beating and the referee has to reverse the decision. Yay, Vanessa Borne wins. It's an S. Match 3, moving into 2017 now. Vanessa Borne, how does she still look so generic with training from Rikishi and Gangrel? She takes on big female bodybuilder Jamie Hachi. This girl needs a smacky. Vanessa gives her a beautiful smile to start the match. What a strange start to this one. Jamie barges her down and slowly runs the ropes. She does a sunset flip. Vanessa rolls through though, but does a dramatic jump over her and knees her in the back. Jamie fights back with a knee to the gut and a side slam for a 1 count. As Jamie works a submission, Vanessa continues smiling. Vanessa fights out that by backing her into the corner and arm dragging her away. Borne throws strikes and drop kicks. Another awkward jump over her opponent and Borne wins the match with a spinning side slam. The crowd are in complete silence, that one just didn't impress anyone. The Hawk does appreciate effort though, so it's a D for at least trying stuff, but please don't try it again. Match 4, Mae Young Classic Tournament first round, Serena Deeb versus Vanessa Borne. God damn it, this match is basic and boring. Borne lands a headbutt as the crowd start to moan and groan at the basic offense. Vanessa hits a sliding headbutt where she comes to a complete stop and then throws the headbutt. This is not the greatest match I've ever seen. It's way too long for the actual content of the match. Serena tries to improve things with a net breaker and a gut buster. She misses a charge and unfortunately this match continues. Borne hits a swinging net breaker for a 2. Vanessa then hits a Samoan drop, which I'm okay with as Vanessa is half Samoan. She misses a splash though and Serena puts her away with a spear. Very basic match, it's a D. Match 5, Liv Morgan versus... Jesus, I'm not even trying to be funny. I really thought that the Titantron said Vanessa boring. At least she looks a bit less bland now. She gets to talk as well, but when it comes to listing her career credentials, all she can say is she made history by being in the Mae Young tournament. Well, you lost, so nothing to brag about. They start out reversing scoop slams. Vanessa spanks her, which makes Liv dump in her leggings with anger. Vanessa manages to bridge up on a pin as more pins are traded. Liv matrixes away from a strike and she drops Vanessa on her face and hits a leg drop for a 1 count. Borne comes back with a snap suplex and a mounted pin. That doesn't get the JOB done and Borne starts smashing her face into the mat. We are constantly reminded that she's half Samoan. And the Hawk is still partially on the fence about that, so let's keep it quiet. Liv is really struggling but almost wins the lucky pin and then Vanessa takes her head off with a clothesline. She gets distracted playing with the crowd and Liv drop toe holds her into the ropes. Liv Morgan does a slightly awkward forward roll and another roll into another pin for a 2. She immediately throws Vanessa's face into the mat and hits an enziguri kick. The domination continues with a double stomp into the corner and a bulldog. Liv finally puts us all out of our miseries with a code breaker. Vanessa's character seemed better, but her wrestling was worse. Another D. Match 6, Battle Royal. Not really much to say. She survives for a while without really doing anything, and then she's eliminated by Nikki Cross. It's an S. Match 7, moving into 2018 now, which was basically the year of Vanessa Borne. Because it was very boring. No, she just wrestled most of her matches this year. Vanessa Borne versus Nikki Cross again. It feels much like the last time they faced. Cross destroys her in the corner. She puts on a sleep hold with Vanessa lightly throwing her overhead. Out of nowhere, Vanessa hits her spinning side slam finisher. It's just a 2, so that's her finisher dead now. She moves on to hit a snap slam with a mounted pin for a 2. Nikki finally does something and hits a crossbody. She seems to have snapped and she wasn't exactly stable in the first place. She hits another crossbody from the top and then beats her boobs with happiness. The swinging fisherman suplex ends it. A complete nothing of a match. It's an S. Match 8, Pirate Kairi Sane versus Vanessa Borne. This isn't going well. I can't remember last time the Hawk was so unimpressed with a wrestler. Borne gets her started with a waistlock takedown and tries to show some heel personality. Maybe she'd concentrate on getting some wins in the column first. Sane starts outspeeding her and gets a couple of close roll-ups. One of the pins is pretty nice. Shame it wasn't our girl doing it. Borne starts clubbing her with elbows to the back of the head. It doesn't hurt Sane much who hits a spear. The crowd are all fired up from that one as Sane hits a sliding smack. She climbs to the top where it looks like there's some miscommunication, but Sane still catches her with an elbow for a 2. Vanessa desperately stops her next dive, but she can't manage anything else and Sane double stomps her from the Tree of Woe. Kairi Sane wins with a diving elbow drop. Jesus Christ, this is appalling. I didn't know such boring women's wrestlers still existed. It actually feels like we're going backwards a bit. It's an S. Match 9, Dakota Kai versus Vanessa Borne. Well, at least her looks are improving, and so is the efforts with the entrance. She screams, "This is what a real superstar looks like." We start with Dakota missing a kick and getting smashed by the massive meathead of Borne. She throws Kai's face into the mat for a 2. Now she yells, "Cheer for me." I don't think that's how it works. Nice net breaker from Borne now for a 2. Kai now does land some kicks which leaves Borne stumbling and a big kick and knee in the corner follow. Now Kai hits a Canadian Destroyer into her own knees and that's the 3. Wow, why do they even bother booking Borne? It seems like a waste of time. The shouting at the crowd sounded desperate too. There just isn't a whole lot here. Another S. Match 10. I love how Vanessa Borne is only booked every few months, so each time she comes back she looks different and has new music every single time. The true sign of someone who the WWE doesn't care about. She takes on Pirate Kairi Sane again. They both take turns choking each other. Sane does a fake out punch and pokes her to loud cheers. See, this is the sort of thing which makes someone a superstar and others completely forgettable. It's the little things. Borne manages a waistlock takedown before Sane comes back with a dragon screw and a rolling elbow drop. She puts on an ankle lock with Borne instantly making the ropes. No suspense at all. Sane tries a crucifix which has turned into a Samoan drop. As established, I'm okay with this, she's half Samoan. Borne actually nails a pretty nice twisting suplex now for a 2. She desperately attacks Kairi's ribs. She really needs a win here. She starts hanging Kairi upside down on the ropes as the beatdown continues. This is slow. Once again, Borne screams, "Cheer for me." She shouldn't have bothered doing that as she misses a falling elbow drop. Sane capitalizes with a somersault neckbreaker. She's far from done though as she hits a head scissors and a spear. The sliding smack follows. Borne does manage to stop her falling elbow and throws her to the mat. She also catches her out of a nice pin before Sane puts on a bridging ankle lock for the tap out win. By far the best match so far. It was still slow at times, but I wouldn't say she looked too out of place. It's a C. Match 11, Vanessa Borne versus Tay Conchi. It turns into a catfight straight away. The crowd aren't liking this one. They groan, they moan, they all look at their phone. Tay hits a judo throw for a 1. Vanessa rolls her up for a 2 before getting monkey flipped away. Frantic start to this one, no feeling out process at all. Vanessa starts mashing her face into the turnbuckles which causes Tay to cry and shake like she's having an asthma attack. Conchi hits a kick and then a belly to belly overhead which makes Borne dump in her thong with fear and try to escape. The crowd is in silence. Conchi flips and hits one of the ugliest slams of all time. In fact, I'm pretty sure it was 2 different moves edited together. It's over. Horrible match. These two did not mesh well together. Match 12. Vanessa Borne versus... oh no. Well, this is another loss. It's Kairi Sane. Borne steals the pirate hat to get some heat and even more heat when she kicks it away. I love the way that Sane always looks like she's ready to burst into tears. She pays for messing with the hat. Borne does manage to hit her with a twisting suplex again, which is a nice return. The submission doesn't work though and Kairi throws her away and dodges her corner attack. Sane spikes her with a DDT. Vanessa realises she's screwed and can't avoid a spear. Sane takes a big run up and hits a sliding smack, and then Kairi wins with the diving elbow drop. How is Vanessa Borne still getting booked? This is shocking. She's not bringing anything to the table at all. Match 13, Vanessa Borne. The commentary team won't stop talking about how attractive she is. Sure, she's fine, but I don't see her that way. Am I alone in that? She takes on Mia Yim. Another loss incoming. Vanessa's getting Sonny Siaki's ass handed to her until she grabs an eyelash. I know she's a heel, but the crowd just don't react to her in any sort of way. She does like a charging splits to the back of Mia's head. A twisting suplex gets Borne too. Mia almost catches her out of an armbar. She then locks her in a tarantula, and now the kicks start flying. She hits a big drop kick into the corner and a big boot too. She isn't going to have a face left at this rate. Mia Yim hits Eat Defeat to finish her off for the free. This is appalling. This is the most worthless nothing run of all time, and it's still going. Match 14, tag match. Wow, that's something different. Borne teams up with Aaliyah, who you all know the Hawk is a massive fan of. Like, if I was a 14-year-old, she'd definitely be my background. In the Hawk's opinion, one of the hottest WWE women of all time. They will be a tag team of the Ultimate Jobbers. They take on Tay Conchi and Xia Li. Borne starts with Conchi. Tay catches a kick and spins her around and hits a bicycle kick. She follows that with a knee in the corner and a monkey flip. Tay also traps her leg in a grapevine across the ropes. Aaliyah botches a kick or something, but does manage to hold onto her leg to give Vanessa the advantage. All she can manage is stomps and slaps and a splits to the back of the head. Aaliyah comes in to loud boos. I guess they didn't feel the same as 14-year-old Hawk. The Dream Team hit a double Northern Light suplex for her too. Xia Li gets the tag though and they're screwed. Borne can't be bothered to come into the ring for the hot tag, it seemed a bit strange. She eventually makes a blind tag and starts smacking people. She holds Xia Li on her knee as Aaliyah snaps off a net breaker and wow, they got the free. I can't believe they won. And they had some double team moves. It's a C because Aaliyah is awesome. Match 15, tag match. Vanessa Borne and Aaliyah take on Lacey Lane and Casey Catstroker. You couldn't make it up. We're watching the two girls who aren't in the WWE anymore. Borne and Aaliyah throw Lacey Lane into the mat. Lane suddenly wakes up and starts bouncing on the ropes like she's bloody S.A. Rios to hit an arm drag. Borne dumps in her thong with fear and runs around the outside, with Aaliyah making a blind tag and kicking Lane from the apron. I have to say, the teamwork has been better than I expected. Vanessa hangs Lane upside down on the ropes and stumps a mud hole in her. Aaliyah and Borne continue the tag work. Some scary looking dudes appear on the ring apron and Borne and Aaliyah completely dump holes in their nappies and leave. Match is thrown out for DQ. It's a D. Match 16, Aaliyah and Vanessa Borne take on Candice LeRae and Casey Catastroker. Vanessa slaps Aaliyah's ass, which is the best match start in this video. Vanessa comes in working a double suplex for Aaliyah. Borne throws Casey across the ring and tags back out, but not before some more double teaming against the ropes. I'm surprised, this team isn't actually that bad. They try another double suplex, but this time Lacey escapes and hits them with a double net breaker. She tags Candice, who missile drop kicks Vanessa away. Candice also jawbreakers her into the ring and hits a back senton. LeRae hits a lion salt for the free. I thought we were going to get a bit of a good run here. It's an S. Match 17, singles match. Vanessa Borne, who backs the ring announcer into the corner and everyone looks confused about that, and she takes on Jessie. Surely we can win this one. At least Borne's jumping ability is improved. She hits a drop toe hold into stomps. Vanessa's so aggressive in this one, she must have been smacked in the gut before this match. Borne hits her first ever drop kick in this match. She's not in a rush to win though because she's constantly trash talking. Aaliyah takes a cheap shot so Borne can hit the splits into the back. For some reason, she rubs her ass into Jessie's face, not sure why. Jessie almost beats her with a small package and a crucifix pin. Borne then takes a nasty fall onto the ropes with a drop toe hold and Jessie smashes her with a kick. Borne survives that and reverses the next one that hits a headbutt and a reverse neck breaker for the win. Even the commentary team are shocked to say that she's won.
Vanessa Borne wins! Yes!
What an impressive victory! Here is your winner!
Look, she is getting better. You can clearly see that she's adding moves and character work. I won't ever say she wasn't trying. The problem is the main roster of women are just insanely athletic. It's gonna be tough. It's a C. Match 18, Mia Yim. Great, her again. It's okay, Vanessa is now pretty much a veteran since they last met in the ring. Nothing happens for absolutely ages. They can't land any moves. Then Aaliyah does a distraction so the half-breed can hit a Samoan drop that Scott Steiner would be proud of. Just a 2. Borne puts Mia upside down in the ropes and they stick a lower sticker on her ass. This is because they think they are higher than everyone on the roster. apart from whoever came up with this gimmick. Finally, Yim snaps after a slap. After a bunch of kicks and a cannonball, Yim wins the Protect Your Neck in about 2 minutes. It's an S. 18 miserable matches. Why do I do this to myself? Match 19, Xia Li versus Vanessa Borne, who is no longer with Aaliyah because Xia Li kicked her face off. Well, that's Borne screwed. Those 2 tag team victories were the best chance she had. Borne gives her a beat down in the corner but misses a spear and hits the ring pole. Xia rolls her up but changes her mind and picks her up and hits a powerbomb. Some scary dudes appear on the ramp. Lee doesn't care and hits a wacky kick for the 3. It was over in about 1 minute, including a distraction on the ramp. Just give up, it's an S. Match 20, final match, thank God, final match, yes. We're actually in 2020 now as well. Battle Royal. Not much to say, she survives for longer than I expected. Mia Yim sends her to the outside and hits Protect Your Neck. Vanessa briefly clings on with her feet until they get kicked away and I start to spray. Game over. Somehow, Vanessa stayed employed until 2021 without wrestling for a year. She was supposed to do the Charlie's Angels thing on the main roster, and then she was supposed to be part of Retribution. But after she questioned the violence of the group with creative, they pulled her push and said they don't want her anymore. Bet she wished she kept her mouth shut. Then she had a few AEW appearances before retiring from wrestling. Nowadays, she seems to do fitness stuff, I guess. I don't know. This was not good, man. Not good at all. It never really clicked, did it? She just wasn't very interesting. This may have been better 10 years earlier, but she just couldn't keep up with the girls who are about nowadays. Aaliyah got way bigger fan reactions, and she only made it a little bit further than Vanessa. Borne was trying, it can't be denied, but Ring of the Hawk isn't for everyone. These are fine margins, and we only want the best of the best on the roster. So I have no choice but to shove her in the zone, because Vanessa Borne makes the Hawk yawn. And you can shove it if you don't like it, bitch!